Tina.
Hi Yasmin, welcome to my
Hi,
show.
Tina. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. And what about you?
I'm doing fantastic.
So, guys, we welcome Yasmin Sait, a famous personality, basically, to my show, Zero to Hero, another episode. And Yasmin is a good friend of mine. She is an author, a life purpose coach, as well as a counselor. So, too many hats to be donned by her. She also has worked in web series and short films and ads. So, let's welcome and let's know more about her from her mouth. Okay, so as we said, welcome Yasmin once again to the show, and we would like you to introduce yourself to us.
Thank you so much, Lena, for having me over.
Welcome.
So, I think half you have already introduced me. The other thing is, I have been in the retail and entertainment business for 30 years before I wore these other hats of being an author or, a life purpose coach and a counselor now. And that's been my professional journey.
Great.
And here I am.
Yeah, but before all this, if we just go back, would you like to throw some light? Like, how did you, enter into so many zones? How did you don these hats? So, would you like to tell people about that?
Yes, definitely. So I had absolutely I was a housewife for almost about 11 years, and hadn't stepped out ever, coming from a very conservative family and very protected. So 11 years went by just like that.
Hmm.
And in life, when life gives you a jolt, you have to, you know pull up your socks and moving.
Correct.
So that's how I came, out of my nest for the
Okay.
first time in 1990. I came out,
Okay.
and then there was no looking back. And I I started working in a computer firm,
Okay.
and thereon I started my own supermarket. I
Oh.
I worked for about 2 years in computer with computers, and then I moved and started my supermarket. So then retail lived for a long time with me, as not only as an entrepreneur, but also I worked with a corporate.
Okay.
And um, and then when I resigned from my job, I was basically um, asked to take rest and be a home mom, stay home mom by my daughter, but I couldn't do that.
Okay.
I was very restless because I used to work for long hours, and that kind of, used to give me a lot of restlessness.
Hmm.
And then I started managing my children's work. So both my kids, Kubra and Danish, I started managing their work. And then that's how I ended up into the entertainment business. And 30 years went by. I don't know how and when. And a lot of people say, oh God, you've struggled. I know it was a struggle, but I always had this attitude, of whatever happened, it's happened at the back.
Right.
So, like, I always felt that when there is pain, when there is trouble, we sail through it. We don't have the time to, we don't have the time to, crib and cry about it, because we need to pass that situation. So when you pass the situation and I look at the outcome, I feel like I'm just holding a newborn in my hand.
Okay.
So my life was entirely like that. So every time I overcame something and I saw the outcome, I forgot what struggles I went through. And I think that is More of because I'm very childlike at my heart, and even my attitude, I'm very childlike. I just don't know how to behave my age. So I think because I am childlike, I think it kind of balances off and evens off, and I don't have the time to,
Overthink.
sit over that.
Right.
So that's how things moved.
Right. So basically, as a theme, like my channel's theme, like for this interview, is having a right mindset, and
Hmm.
that's why you're here because, as you said, you never had the time to think because there were so many struggles in front of you that you had to just look at the next step rather than ponder be at the past, right? So that's what I feel. And again, for people who, when you mentioned Kubra and Danish, just for the people's knowledge, Kubra and Danish are your kids. They're doing very well. Kubra is into film industry. Danish again the same, as well as he is more into like people do know him for the cricket associated with him. So yes, you are a proud mother. You've been managing them well.
No, I have always said that I'm a blessed mother
Okay.
because because both my kids are doing the same thing, and they do very well what they do. So it's very difficult to have you know uh, two children and both of them doing the same thing and doing very well. That is very it's not an easy thing. So I think it's always, I feel it's being blessed. And that was my life, in the earlier. But yes, there is always an up and down in your life, and I always believe that your life needs to have that graph,
Yes,
and if it doesn't have, then you're not alive.
true.
You have to experience, it's like that ECG, uh,
Yes,
reading. You see, if it's
yes,
a
yes.
straight line,
It's
the
there.
person is gone,
Yes,
is
yes.
no more. So I always feel, that ups and downs are very important. So recently now, up until 5 years ago, I used to manage my children's work, and I stepped down in 2018. And I thought, okay, now I have done. So now, I will now be a stay-home mom or something like that. But I struggled a lot. I struggled. I struggled for 2 years. It was very painful because even after being so accomplished, uh, you know, professionally so
Yeah,
accomplished,
you were also
I,
doing web series and all that before that.
yes, I used to do a lot of work, and suddenly I felt no interest in doing, my uh, pursuing my
Career.
acting career or anything like that. And 2 years, I struggled a lot. I felt very directionless,
Mm.
and it was a big uh, uh, change for me because I didn't know what to do. And that's when I kind of, first year and then the second year, and then I kind of just tried to stand up, and pandemic started. So when pandemic started, there was nothing that I could do. I couldn't go out of the house, and there was so much of stress, like nobody knew what's happening.
True.
So then we were all stuck at home. So that's when I said, let me focus on myself. I think anything to do needs a little bit of your attention, and that could be as little as looking after your own self.
Mm.
And in those 2 years, I realized I had no idea of what I like, what I don't like, what I like, even including food. I didn't know what I like.
Of course.
So it was very, very difficult. And then in 2020, when pandemic was on, at that time, I started focusing on myself. Like, the whether it's taking care of my food, my exercise, everything within the four walls, I started doing.
Right.
And then that's the time I started researching about women. Because whatever I was feeling, I wasn't comfortable with what I was feeling. Because I was never a person who felt a discomfort ever. And when I was feeling that, I realized that is it only me or is it every woman goes through this?
True.
So that was the time for me, which was very, very difficult. And I started kind of struggling for my identity, for lot many things I was struggling. And that's when the idea of writing the book Manan came to my mind.
Great. Yeah.
So it can help, a lot of women, because when I spoke to them, I realized that a lot of them go through it. Because when you're a child and you getting to your teens, there is a period where you're an adolescent. You're very rebel. You don't want to listen to anybody. And parents don't understand that you are not a child anymore and you're going to be a teenager. The thing is, you're going to be a teenager. You're not a teenager. So don't behave like one. Don't, you shouldn't wear these clothes. You shouldn't talk like this. You shouldn't sit like this. So the parents start controlling them, not knowing whether, not even giving the thing that they're not children anymore.
True.
And they're not
Adults
adults,
yet.
like teenagers anymore. So
Yeah.
that phase is very difficult
Very
for
difficult
every
one.
child.
True.
And I realized we grown-ups also go through that. Because as uh, the crossing over comes, I went through a lot of those things. I was turning a rebel. I didn't want to listen to anybody. I wanted to do everything that I want to do. Right or wrong, I just had to be, on my own.
And kids
And
wanted to be your parent.
sorry.
And your kids wanted to be your parent, controlling you.
Yeah, because see, somebody who's an easy person, suddenly anybody thinks, why? Not only my, my kids, even my friends, everybody used to think that why you so uh, why you get so upset about things, or why you just get randomly angry about something. So I just wouldn't understand. But then when I spoke to a lot of women, it's a crossing over.
True.
It's a kind of a change that we go through.
Women go through. Yes, of course.
Yes.
And that's quite
So
difficult to understand, for men or maybe anyone else.
yes. So, and being on this side, being a woman, I could I could clearly think like a woman what I was going through, what others are going through. It was easy for me to talk about my tribe. So that's why I came up with my book Manan.
Yeah.
That's my book Manan.
So for people who are watching
Yeah.
Yasmin, it's her book. Please do buy, and it's on Amazon. It's a great book.
Yes, on Amazon. So basically, when I was writing this book, I was in my mind, I had that I'm writing for midlife, but then women in their midlife. But then when the book was almost coming to an end, I realized that this is not for just the midlife women. It is for women in all stages of life.
Right.
In different stages, it's going to help. If it's going to be a young, actually a lot of reviews have come on Goodread as well as on Amazon, and we are between 4 and 5 rating.
Ratings.
And so there each one is in their 30s.
Okay.
Within their 30s, in their 30s, 40s, 50s, the reviews that they have written. So that's when I also, made it, I was very sure about what it is a younger generation, when they read this book, it's going to help them and set a tone to how they're going to, lead a life as they're growing. And when an older person reads this book, they will realize that they're missing out on something, and they can set their sail in the direction they want to go. Because we have, I just like to call myself an adult, not a young adult, but an adult, rather than calling myself senior, because I just turned 60 this year, in August. So I don't want to call myself senior. Not ready to hang my boots yet.
Of course, because you don't look 60 or you don't feel 60, right? You're a kid
Yeah,
at heart and, of course, fun loving person. And
of
again,
course.
coming back to whatever you said, just introspecting on that, I felt that you had accomplished so many things in life, and yet you felt that void for that period, when that transition was happening. So,
Yes.
when people don't understand what is happening, it's because they are not introspective. So, when you did that introspection and when you found out that I want to do this, you had lived for others, like basically for your kids, like every one of us does. But we feel
We
very
all do that.
proud. Yeah, we all do that, and we feel
We
very
all
proud
do that.
about it. Yeah. But then when you actually feel that now I want to, because they are accomplished their goals, now they are settled, and now I want to live my life, there's always some problem here and there, but it's again about the right mindset. You had the right mindset, you
Yeah.
were accomplished
No,
person.
because
So
actually, Lina, what happens is we hold on to we hold on to a lot of things. We hold on to relationships. We hold on to. We don't let go.
right.
We don't
True.
let go.
Right.
So at at every at every stage of life,
Hmm.
we have to make some amendments with ourselves,
Mm-hmm.
and letting go needs to happen. And
True.
things, because what happens is, where only when we do that can we move ahead,
Hmm.
you know and also, what do you require now as you are, aging? What happens is, your your requirements are minimum. You've already had that experience of running around and doing everything. You've been on the rough sea, and now your ship is coming to the shore, and you want to experience that still waters.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
What
So
lovely language, Lula. I really feel like listening to you. Just listen to
yeah,
it.
no, so that's how, you have to think. And see, basically, what my book also talks about is, today the medical has improved so much that it can take care of your physical being.
True.
Your physical being is taken care, your body is taken care. Be it diabetes, be it BP, you
Whatever.
have the
Yeah.
best medicines to stabilize, and you can sail through.
Hmm.
Now, whatever happens, the first thing the doctor is going to say that don't take stress.
True.
So your mind races, your BP will go up, your sugar will go up.
Right.
So medicines can control your body and bring it to a normal, uh,
Hmm.
you know, position, but
Right.
your mind. So you need to, uh, take care of that first. So mostly what happens is, people, because they worry so much, but at some point we need to understand that worrying will not take anything. And another major thing is forgiveness. We hold on to a lot of things in our heart. And it is like a fireball inside. So that fireball will be burning. We don't want to say that, okay, we feel somebody needs to come and say, oh, I'm sorry, I did this to you. It's not necessary.
True.
It's not necessary. That's why they say forgiveness is something for your own peace. Whether they come and say or not, you forgive. You put you put a cold water on it, so you are safe.
At peace.
Otherwise, it's going to burn you from inside. And it's not
Right.
worth it. It's not worth it. And now with the pandemic, we don't know how long one is going to live and make it. But if you're blessed, you're going to live for 90 years, 99 years. And if you're, forget about your body is going to be taken care any which case. But if your mind is not okay, how are you going to manage the number of years?
True.
You have another 40, at least another 40 years to go. So you only finished 75% of your life by the time you come to 60 and you have another 25. How would you do that? So that's where, one needs to be able to uh, put away those baggages. And very interesting, when I wrote this book, I didn't want any English name for it because I felt it was not going to make justice to it. Because I wanted to write what I went through
Right.
and what it is. So that's when the name Manan came to my mind. Because it's Manan, right? So the Manan is looking
Introspection. Yeah.
in inward, right?
Right.
So only when I could do that, the book could be out. So when somebody asked me, I said, I conceived last year, I delivered this year.
Yeah, it's a
And
busy. Of
I
course.
feel so happy. I feel so happy because, to earn that tag of an author with my name,
Yeah.
I feel so happy. And I was very clear that now I don't want to do anything with retail. And I don't want to do anything with entertainment business. So what is it that I want to do? What will keep me happy and going? What do I want to do? That's when I realized that there's so many women at different stages of life, they are struggling. I can help them. That's the best thing that I can do. So that's when I said, let me pursue and let me, think. So that's how in 2020 I joined Afin Khan's
Coaching. Yeah.
Coach to Fortune and did my coaching program from there. And that's when we met, right?
Yeah.
That's when we met. And then I also did a counseling. Uh,
Yeah. After that. Yeah, okay.
yeah.
So, listening to you, I know you don't want to go to the past and dwell about it or talk about it, but I would just like to give it just to the people listening to this that what Yasmin is portraying now, a happy, person and all that, but she's been through a lot of difficulties, a lot of problems and like in issue and like in life, sorry, and she doesn't want to talk about it because, as she said, she's forgiven and she's put them back.
No, it's not. It's not that, Nina. Like I said, um, like I told you, like, see, whatever earlier, like whatever happened, I said, like every time, see, that's the attitude one needs to have.
Yes, no, I was coming to that only,
That's the
Yasmin,
attitude
because
one needs to have. So that's
yeah.
why I told you that's done. But then I did struggle, and that struggle for 2 years was not easy. I had to go through counseling
Oh,
myself.
okay.
I had to go through counseling. So for me, this 5 years I feel it's zero to hero.
Hmm.
It's zero to hero. Because what can one think of doing something new
Right.
in
And that
today's
too at the
time when,
age, like where
yeah,
one is retiring, like.
people think of retiring. At that time, if I have come out with a book and I definitely have the rights to call myself a
Of
hero
course,
here,
of course, Yasmin,
right?
that's the reason you're here on the show
And
Zero to Hero.
those 2 years, Nina, I tell you, they were not easy for me. I
Yeah.
went through health also.
Mhm.
I went through a surgery. But then what is there is that is life. That is life.
So
But what we do is we take it too serious about everything. But everything will pass. If if I'm happy at this moment, it's going to pass. If I'm going to be sad, that is also going to pass.
true,
If I breathe in, I am going to breathe out. I cannot hold it for long.
true,
So in true meaning, if I say that I'm here with you, these 5 years, my struggle, I'm zero to hero.
it has shaped you into a hero.
Yes,
That struggle
of
has shaped you into being a hero.
course, a
Right.
lot.
Right.
Because when I speak to people now, they
Hmm.
pointed out that you have changed, and you've changed for the very
That's
good.
for the best.
They say,
Right.
yeah, they say you've changed for a very good. So
Right.
that like makes me even more happy. They say there's so much of transformation in you,
Right.
you
And that's
know?
a good transformation. Like, when you also look up to helping people, helping women, helping
Yes.
others. So that's absolutely a
So
good transformation.
so
Good shift.
I take up a lot of counseling.
Hmm.
Counseling is normally one to one. You can't
Right.
do it. So I take up counseling, and
Hmm.
it's very, very rewarding. So when you counsel somebody, you are when you listen to them,
Hmm.
it it again shifts something inside you.
Right.
You don't think you are going through anything as much as that person is going through now.
So,
It's very, very difficult.
right.
But it's really nice. I mean, I really enjoy doing what I'm doing now because it's helping people.
True. I would like to tell people that, see, because if anyone in any purpose or in any area of your life needs counseling, Yasmin is the best person because she's been through so many things and she has that experience of dealing with those things. She has already dealt with all of that. So when a person has that, when a person has been through so many things, and then when you're guiding someone, you utilize that experience over there. So when people come to you, they know that, if you know they what you can how you can help them, or you have that um vast experience of life. You've been through so many things. You have done retail business. You've done web series. You've acted in films. You've done ads. You have helped your kids build their careers. So the multitude of things that you've done, and multitasking, I can say, as I said in the beginning itself, don so many hats. So that experience is
Yes.
really
A
going to
lot of
be
hats.
useful,
Yes.
yeah, to so many people in life. So please, I'm going to share your bio in my description, so people, whoever really, please connect with Yasmin. She's a very, she has that smile, and she's like, it's a contagious smile, and the way you talk, it's so cooling, soothing, calm. It feels good to listen to you.
मैंने पूरा अपना वो क्या बोलते हैं एंजाइटी का टाइम निकाल दिया. अभी
Good.
I'm cool now. Cool
Right.
cat.
So any future plans to write another book?
Um, Writing a book, I am actually working on
Hmm.
something else right now.
Hmm.
Uh, may take some more time
Hmm. Hmm.
uh, because a lot of men are asking why Manan is not there for men.
Okay.
So that's going to be a lot of work because men are built differently.
True.
You know, their emotions and things, they're very different from what we go through. At least, we have the liberty of screaming or crying. I think every woman does that.
Mm.
When you just piss her off and she will tell you off.
Right, right.
She'll scream, she'll cry, and then she'll be fine after some time.
Mm.
But men don't do that.
Right.
And also they're very emotionally, we are the ones who tell them that crying is not for you.
True, I was
The
coming to
women's
that.
job to cry, girls cry, men don't, boys
Right.
don't cry. So even when we cry, they don't know what to do with us. So now they're asking for, so I'm thinking of working on that. But otherwise, with the Manan itself, I have a lot of plans to take it forward.
Okay.
There's a lot of work that I can have to do around it. So that's going to keep me busy, and I only hope that I have time to
No,
accomplish what
of
I
course.
want.
See, when you're
One
doing
step at a
something,
time. Yeah,
yeah,
one step at a time. I will start,
true.
and like-minded people I would like to include with
Get in.
me as I go.
Hmm.
So I just look at it as I always make myself happy by saying, Manan mere saath or Manan mere baad bhi.
Yeah, of course, it's a legacy that you're going to leave behind.
Yes, I want to leave this as something, want to
Right.
start something and
Really.
leave it.
Okay. So Yasmin, it's I feel like just listening to you as I said, but due to time constraint, we need to wind up. So what
Yeah.
message would you like to give people? What do you feel? Because you've been through so many experiences, as I already said. What message would you like to give today?
Don't take life too seriously. I heard something very beautiful.
Hmm.
There's a uh, there's a pot
Hmm.
which is broken,
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
and what happens when you fill water in that and keep the
What will
water
happen? Yeah.
seeps out of that pot.
Right.
So every single day our life is seeping out of us.
So
We are not we are not full anymore. Every day our life is seeping out, so we are not full. So don't take life too seriously. Just enjoy this moment.
It's such a wonderful thought. Of course, two, three of my interviewees have always already shared this in a different way. But your thought again, like the example that you gave, that's so relevant, and everyone would reckon with it. I feel it's really amazing. Uh,
Yeah.
Yasmin, I wish you all the best for your future prospects. Whatever you're going to do, write more books, counsel people, coach people. You are doing really wonderful things by helping people.
So much.
And I really wish you all the best once again. Uh, I know
Thank you.
you will be that. You're already famous, so I don't wish for that famous thing. Like, being famous,
I don't
people
know
know
what
you so
famous
well.
is.
People know you already. Only thing is being that person who leaves some legacy behind for others to follow. That footsteps, that they can follow on. I think that's really important, and you're doing that task. You're already on that path, and I really wish you that happiness, that joy, and that that energy to do all these things, and
Yeah, that
reach
I
out to
need.
people.
That I need. I
Yes.
always want to be a cocaine bunny, jumping around always, because I see a lot. I always think that how does one get up like that slowly? Actually, you won't believe, like, so many people talk to me now.
Hmm.
I chat with so many people.
Hmm.
They say that, oh, my mom just turned 60, and she's throwing a lot of tantrums in the house, and
Mm-hmm.
she's she was so active before. She used to drive, and she used to go do all the jobs
Mm-hmm.
and come back. But since she's turned 60, she doesn't want to do anything.
It's again in the mindset that, okay, I'm 60 now.
That's what happens. You start letting go. And even the things that you're doing, you stop doing. That should not happen.
True.
Continue your life. Its age is just a number. Today you're 60, tomorrow you'll be 65. Just the way you were 20 and then 25.
Yes.
There's nothing special about it. You were an adolescent kid then, now you're an adolescent adult. Cross this. You'll be fine.
Wonderful, wonderful thought. And I think this was another good message that came out, like eventually while talking. So, really wonderful thoughts. And I wish you all the best. And thanks for, coming on such a short notice. I really appreciate that. And thank you once
Anything for you,
again.
Lina.
Thank you. This is what I've earned in my life. I feel that all these good friends, like you, then last time we had Savita. So it's this community that we are in. I think that's a wonderful thing that we're going to do. So
Women,
thanks a lot.
picking up women is very important. Don't be indifferent to them.
No, of course, always. I think,
And
yes,
now
having
that's
one,
another message I'm giving,
yeah,
that women pick women up,
picking women up. Right,
stand by them,
right, of course.
because we are the ones who need to help each other.
Yes, yes. And thanks for being there. And soon, hope to read your next book at the earliest. All the best.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Thank you. So we'll say bye bye. Let's call it a day.
Yes.
Bye bye. Yes.
Bye bye to everyone
Yes.
until we meet again.
Yes.